the whole of my life I wanted to be in the military, in the army. And I had no choice but to join the infantry when I came to about 16. So after about 3 to 6 months, I can't even remember now, but I left due to a few political ideals that I didn't share with the British Army, I guess. And then, which forced me to just jump on the first career option possible, which was, I typed into a career database all my details, what do I like, working outdoors, all that kind of crap. And then it said army or goldsmith or the future. So I did the first thing possible. And I think if I didn't do that, my parents would have killed me as well. So a few days in the house, they were sick to the tits. I went to this school of jewellery in Birmingham. It's quite a prestigious school, but it's actually in a jewellery quarter. The name of the place is Jewellery Quarter. Got a job offer in Bath. When I moved there, it's completely different to Birmingham. People are different, shops are different, houses are different, money's different. The way you go out to have a drink and you don't have to look over your shoulder, you don't have to carry a knife around. It's nice and sometimes, but really it disturbed me, the attitudes of people. So I moved to Rome after a year of seeing a girl going backwards and forwards, England and to here. And she used to come back to see me. So I got quite a decent attitude and a decent view into how the Romans are, more than being interested in what Rome is or the history of Rome. I didn't really give a shit at the time. And I just started painting with whatever I had. Didn't have a telaio, so I just used the loose canvas on the floor. And thankfully I was renting some shitty apartment, and I didn't mind if there was a bit of paint on the floor and the carpet at the time. And it's just so refreshing to be able to not follow precise measurements and to just be able to express yourself so freely and quickly. You can make a mark instantly, whereas making jewellery, you could be doing something that to make a line could take you 2-3 hours, or in every method basically it's going to be a lot more effort and expensive as well. So they're quite, my early works I guess, were a different attitude. After moving here, I kind of caseggiato, messed around for like a good year and got absolutely hammered for probably every day, and didn't really live quite the way I should have, didn't paint anywhere near enough as I should have. And the one night my friend broke my balls like 3 hours straight, telling me I was a piece of shit, didn't do anything. Well, I'm not a real artist, so to do it, you got to pull your finger out and start painting. All right, fine. All right, I agreed like 10 times. Eventually, I said, okay, fuck it, I will. Next day, I started painting, and pretty much didn't leave the house anywhere near as much as before. I didn't see people for a few months, and been on your own. I just walked around Rome, explored Rome the way I should have done when I first got here. Went to the churches, started reading a lot more about the history of a lot more before Garibaldi, basically. And I can relate all the older stories to modern society, modern whatever. And I suppose I studied a lot more the history of art, which is pretty important. So the whole of last year I didn't expose any work. I was just stuck in the studio, which is good. I got an opportunity for my own place. And not having a TV or not being able to do anything else, I read a lot of books, read a lot of historical stuff, which then leads me on to religion. Especially in Rome, you can't really escape it. Started reading the Bible. I think I got as far as the first couple of pages, but there's enough stuff there to keep me occupied for about 6 months at least, somewhat on the one piece, exploring. Well, I think basically I looked at a few other stories that are connected, that have similarities from like all these epics of Mesopotamia, Babylonia, Egyptian times, like Roman religions, ancient Roman religions, that have so much in common with the Catholic Church that they have to be more true. So I don't know, I just read a lot of stuff, watched a lot of crappy documentaries on YouTube, and even I think children's Bibles are probably just as relevant. My last works were the triptych of correction attempts. I definitely, being here, you definitely hear a lot of Romans say, I hate Rome, I want to leave. The young people are constantly telling me that they want to leave. It's better in London. It's, the people here are morons, they do this, they act like that, but they do exactly the same thing. A lot of my friends who are foreign expats and whatever else, Americans and all this filthy stranieri. We always talk about how annoying the Italians are and the stories of being here, especially a few racism stories my friends tell me, especially the Filipino friends always tell me stories of race. That's almost the first thing, if I go out with Filipino friends, they'll say, Italians are racist now. It's like, The three paintings, what was it, the Herostratus, Diluvio and Sacco. So they're all an attempt to correct Rome, either burning it down, flooding it, and letting the better people survive, or literally going on the rampage, stabbing people and whatever else. But this all leads me back to the point of my early works, which is slightly all to do with feeling guilty about not living correctly, or how people tell me I should be living and me not doing it. So I've studied a lot of the Bible stories or religious philosophers talk about different ways. I bet the Catholic Church is fascinating for the amount of ways to get away with peccati. I mean, there's la vendita dell'indulgenza, or let me think, repenting anything. Every Friday you can go and repent whatever sin you've had. The Stations of the Cross, and all other types of ways I suppose you can do it, but there's one that's pretty fascinating, Molinismo. I don't even think he was Catholic, but I think it's fascinating to think about the ways that you can get away with or convincing yourself that the way you're living is better than however people tell you how bad you are, which I think I've done a few bad things that I need to repent about.